Hi everyone, it's me again, VA Jessie, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. To those who are new here, my name is VA Jessie and I provide work from home tips, sales and phone skills improvement, and anything related to virtual assistants. So if you are someone who's looking for a channel that's going to provide you different tutorials about work from home, freelancing, and how to become a virtual assistant, consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you would always be updated whenever I release a new video. And if you are a person or a client or a business owner who's looking to hire a Filipino cold caller or virtual assistant, please consider subscribing too. And also you can visit my website, which is telecrewoutsourcing.com. Again, it's telecrewoutsourcing.com. We are a virtual staffing agency from the Philippines and we provide high quality cold callers around the globe. My topic for today would be about how to become a successful B2B cold caller. If you are a freelancer who's offering a voice service, for outbound cold calling, majority of the people that you are going to encounter would want you to sell their business to another business through telemarketing. How long the contract's going to last would depend on your performance. If you have been following me for a while, you would know that I am the agency manager / owner of Telecrew Outsourcing. And one of the things that I've noticed is that the B2B accounts are the ones that are in demand, but also the ones that usually end right away. Like these are short-term projects because again, as I mentioned to you, the success of the project or how long the project's gonna be would depend on how successful you are as a cold caller. Now, if you're not setting appointments for your clients, if your client is not getting the return on investment, there would only be up to a certain point they could keep the contract and they could keep paying you. All right. I know that everybody would like to perform and that everybody would like to produce a number, everybody would like to hit the quota and help his or her clients. However, I can still encounter different people that are having a hard time generating leads from B2B cold calling, right? So for today, that's what we're going to discuss. I would like to talk about how to be a successful B2B or business to business cold caller. I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips that would help you to become a more successful cold caller for business to business accounts. My first tip for you is this: make sure that you study your client's product. All right, so get as much information as you can, ask as much questions as you can in order for you to learn about your client's product. You cannot sell a product or a service that you don't understand. I'm not actually trying to tell you that you have to memorize everything or you have to know everything, but at least you have to understand why would it be to someone's benefit to get your client's product. Remember, as a salesperson, you can only effectively sell a product that you believe in, right? So make sure that when you take on a project, all right, make sure that you study that product. Spend ample amount of time to learn about the service or product that your client would like you to sell for them or would like you to set appointments for them. Tip number 2, there are certain cases that your client would already have a script ready for you that you just need to use. But I also recommend that you create your own script if possible. You create your own flow if possible, right? After studying the product. Right? Because, who knows, if ever your client's script would not work for you, at least you have a backup plan. It's a lot easier for you to have a script or an overview or a call flow that you will follow, so you would not ramble whenever you are, talking to someone. Remember, if you are calling B2B leads, you are calling them while they are at work. So it is normal for them to be in a rush. Now, in order for you to get their attention, you need to make sure that the script that you have is concise yet effective. That would still get their attention. All you need is a few minutes of their time anyway. Having a script that you're comfortable using and that you're confident in would definitely help you convert better. Number 3, make sure that you practice. Practice makes progress. One of the common hindrances that I'm seeing when it comes to B2B account is that callers come to work unprepared, right? So they're just gonna go out there and say things and bitch without being ready. So you have to tune in yourself. Like when you log in, okay, it's just, you need to be like in your work mode, you need to be motivated, and you have to be equipped. Okay, and in order for that to happen, you have to do it by repetition. You have to make sure that you practice and practice and practice every day, all right, until you're able to do it with your eyes closed. So practice and be diligent in doing it. Number 4, remember that when you are cold calling for a business, accept the fact that you cannot close a deal in one call. There would be a lot of follow-ups. Okay, that is why in order for you to become a successful cold caller for B2B campaigns, you have to make sure that you don't just know how to cold call, you also know how to follow up, right? How to do certain follow-up. You have to be mindful of the time that you have to follow up on a lead. You have to know how to extract extra information like alternative contact number or email address. B2B has a lot more success, especially if you combine it with cold calling and email marketing, okay? And also timely follow-ups. As I mentioned to you, you are calling businesses, and sometimes when you call them, they are busy. And oftentimes they would ask you for information that you need to send them, and then you have to follow up. So that's just really the reality of it. So you have to accept the fact. Don't be too pressured. Don't be too hard on yourself if you cannot close a deal after just one call. Number 5, make sure that by the end of the day, build your nurtures or build your callbacks. Okay, as I mentioned to you, you cannot close deals in a day or after just one call. It's very impossible that when you call that person, you call the owner, they're interested, you close it right there and then. No, it's not going to happen that way. Although it's not possible, what's possible is for you to build your nurture, to build your callbacks. Even if you're not consistently setting like appointments every day, least that you can do is to make sure that you have buffers for the following days by means of, strong callbacks or hot leads. Same thing, make sure that you get their information, contact number, and email addresses, so at least your client would have something to use, especially the email address, in order to follow through. Number 6, in order for you to be a successful virtual assistant or cold caller, you have to ensure that you have a strong communication with your client. Communicate with your client either, via reporting by the end of the day, give them a feedback about how many calls you've made, how many contacts you've made, what kind of hot leads you got. If you have a sheet that you're sharing with your client, make sure that you keep that updated every day. If you have a CRM that you're using that is shared with your client, make sure that you're updating the notes. All right, because through these data, both you and your client can study the campaign, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to find a solution if ever you're struggling or if ever you are becoming successful with your job. It's easy for you to know why you are successful. All right, so make sure that by the end of the day, have that initiative. Even if your client didn't ask you, give them a feedback about how your day went, what kind of calls you got, what kind of feedback you got from your leads, and then go from there. I tell you, your client would definitely appreciate that you are giving him feedback. You also need to make sure that you track your progress, okay? Have a little sheet wherein you would be putting in your appointments every day, the number of callbacks that you have every day, so at least you know your progress, you know where you started, you know where you're at, and you know what your goal is in the next few days, in the next few weeks, okay? So track your progress, track your performance. Don't be blinded, because if ever your client asks you what's wrong and you don't know what's keeping you from performing, there's going to be a bad impression on you. So make sure that you track your progress in order for you to know what else you can improve on or what else you can add to whatever you're doing to be more successful. Number 8, brainstorm with your client, at least, once a week. Encourage your client. I know that they could be busy. Sometimes they don't want to talk to you and you feel a bit shy, but it's really important for you and for your client to get together at least once a week so that you can give him like update, not just through reporting, but you can share ideas, you can brainstorm, right? It's very important whether if you are succeeding or if you are failing, it's important for you and your client to get together and have a meeting, right? If your client is someone who's really into, like, you know, going into meeting and talking about the day and talking about what happened last week, take advantage of that, because not all clients have that kind of time. Now, if your client is very busy and he does not have time to talk, encourage him, set a time. You know, ask him what time or what day would he be available or would she be available, so that you guys can get together and do some brainstorming. Number 9, don't be afraid to try new things. There are things that your client would like you to do. There could be some rules that your client want you to follow, like processes that they want you to abide by. But if, for example, you're struggling, or if, for example, you're having a hard time setting appointments or achieving your goals as a freelancer or as a cold caller, don't be afraid to try new things. As I mentioned to you, if you are consistently brainstorming with your client, you would be able to share an idea and you would be able to tell him or her why you think this approach is effective, why you think you shouldn't be doing this anymore. And if you were able to justify it, if it has some logic to it, if it makes sense, why wouldn't they let you do it? Right? So don't be afraid to try new things, and don't be boxed into a certain process or idea. Sometimes the client would just give some directions or directives to you, but in reality, it would also help if you would throw in some suggestions that you think would make the campaign better and would make you even more successful. Lastly, always remember, in order for you to become a successful cold caller or an appointment setter, you have to make sure that you have a lot of calls. Maximize your time. Make as much calls as you can every hour, because the more calls you make, the more contacts you're gonna get. The more contacts you get, then the more conversion you are gonna have, or the more leads you are gonna generate. You have to make sure that you are exerting effort to make as much calls as you can, so that you can convert more and you can talk to more people. Therefore, more appointments and more leads for your clients. Alright, so that's it, guys. That concludes our topic for today about how to become a successful B2B cold caller or appointment setter or lead generator. I hope that you were able to learn something from my video today, and thank you so much for staying until the end. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment down below. If you are an applicant and you want to learn about our openings, please go to our website at telecrewoutsourcing.com. If you were a client who's looking to hire a cold caller or an appointment setter from the Philippines through our agency, please email me at info@telecrewoutsourcing.com. We provide world-class cold caller globally, and we'd like to be part of your team and help you with your success. That's it, guys. Again, if you haven't done it already, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you would always be updated whenever I release a new video. Thank you so much once again, and I'll see you on my next one. Have a great day. Bye.